Hello, hello, hello. Welcome everybody to another session of Hot Jobs with us here at HireMilitary this afternoon. I can see Audra and Paul is already our hype guy in the chat, so really looking forward to seeing who's joining us today. If you're here, please give yourself a shout out. Tell us where you are. If you are interested in skill bridge opportunities, direct hire positions, if you're watching live or after the event, and if specifically you have a question that you would like to ask us at all, we would love to hear it. At the end of every live that we do weekly, we spend a couple of minutes going through your questions just to make sure that we are giving you as much information as we possibly can. And it's the information that you're looking for today. Hey, Roberto. Oh my gosh, amazing to see you. Loved your new photos that you've got for LinkedIn. Saw those earlier. Kate Wood. If you guys don't know Kate Wood, she is one of our recruiters who moved during her maternity leave from Florida to Panama, no less, and she will be back with us very soon. Shelton, hi, Dante, Jason, so great to see you all. Look, we've got Charlotte, North Carolina, we've got California, we've got DC present. Oh, and people from Bragg as well. Hi, guys. Peter in California. So if you have not been with us before, this is our time to really support you as best we can even. It's our favorite 30 minutes of the week. And really, we get to spend it with you, sharing our support, our encouragement, our advice, as well as talking our newest, greatest and best skill bridge and direct hire opportunities. For your situational awareness in the chat today, in the event rather, we have put two hyperlinks for you, two URLs. One is to join our talent pipeline if you are a SkillBridge intern or looking for SkillBridge internships. One is if you are looking specifically for direct hire opportunities. This is your opportunity to tell us that you are out there, you are ready, you are waiting, and you are looking for these two different types of roles. And make sure you get the pipeline correct that you're joining, because it's quite hard for us to transfer. And that's where we go when we are looking to resource and source for each of our opportunities. Kern, hi, Corey, Brandon, so great to see you. And hello, Samantha, Gerard. Gosh, there's a million people here in the conversation today. So we are here for the whole of our military community, whether you are a spouse, a veteran, or a transitioning service member. So make sure you tell us who you are and what you are looking for from us today. That is really important for us. What I would like to do next is introduce everybody. But before we do, because I feel like if you've been around for a while, you're probably familiar with our faces. I am going to highlight a special somebody who is back with us today, a little bit beardier than he was when he left, because he was still active duty 3 weeks ago. But before Agby, he was our SkillBridge intern, and now he is a permanent member of our talent acquisition team here at HireMilitary. We offered him a job after his internship, and we are so thrilled to have him back. So, Buff, tell us where you've been and what you've been doing.
Yes, it's been a long road, and yes, I'm trying something new on my face. Thanks for recognizing. It's a good feeling. I got an opportunity to do 4 months as my SkillBridge internship with you guys. It's a credible company. And September 1st, I signed out on terminal leave and got that coveted DD 214. Great feeling. After that, I drove home. Yep. Thank you. A lot of cheers along the way. I drove home and I was going to have some celebratory dinner with my family. And I got the phone call that for a company I signed up with, and I got to opportunity to go do some wildland firefighting. I signed up with a company, did some training about 3 months ago, did a post on it on LinkedIn. I didn't think it would be come to fruition, but it did. So I spent about 3 weeks out there absorbing and being surrounded by incredible people, just doing a fantastic job, just putting out fires on mountains. And it was learning. I thought I knew a lot of things, and I didn't. And so I was another student, and so I got to do that. And then I got to accept the job offer with HireMilitary, and I'm so glad to be back.
And we are so glad to have you back, and hopefully there won't be many fires for you to put out here. I really hope so. You never know on a day-to-day basis here in our team. Yeah. So if you are unaware, I am Lucy Robinson. I head up the talent acquisition team here at HireMilitary, and I am an active duty military spouse. We are currently stationed in the middle of nowhere, otherwise known as Eielson Air Force Base, which is just outside of Fairbanks in the interior of Alaska. Over to you, Amber. Tell us who you are.
Thanks, Lucy. I saw a couple people tuning in from Alaska, so maybe you're connected with them. If not, you should connect with Lucy. My name is Amber. I'm on the recruiting team here. Air Force veteran. It feels like a lifetime ago. I'm a military spouse now and have been wearing that hat for quite a while. I am in San Antonio and really, really happy to be here, share some opportunities with you. Very excited to welcome you onto our team before in a permanent capacity. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Matt, I'm going to send it over your way.
All right, thanks, Amber. I'm Matt, Marine Corps veteran. Live in East Tennessee. Been doing working with HireMilitary for almost a year and a half. I'm actually about 10 days away from my 1-year retirement date. So it's been a journey, and we'll chat some more about that later. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Please reach out if you need anything. Lucy.
Thank you, Matt. I see Chris Lepardi has shouted out best base in the Air Force. Chris, tell me, are you talking about IOS on there? I'm not 100% sure I'd agree with you. Although what I will say is I'm incredibly happy here. Asked me about 4 or 5 months ago, maybe not so much, but this summer has been absolutely wonderful here in Alaska. Andrew, I see you're in Alaska too. Hi. So normally at this juncture, we move into talking you through our newest SkillBridge and direct hire opportunities. What I always like to say at this point is if you are interested in any of the roles that we talk through, definitely write the position in the comments so that we can come back and we can connect with you later. If you say interested in this one, when we come back in 20 minutes time, we're not going to be 100% sure which one you're talking about. So definitely do give us a better level of detail. If you are unfamiliar, it's really hard for us these days to throw the links, the URLs in the chats. We have Brandy Walker and Audrey, part of our team, who are accommodating and answering questions in real time whilst we're presenting here. But LinkedIn doesn't like those URLs whilst we are live. So we will come back afterwards when we have finished and we will add those in for you. We give you a highlight reel of our opportunities. So if the 6 or 7 opportunities that we talk about today aren't to your liking or definitely not what you are looking for, please don't be dismayed or be in despair. Take a look at our website. It's HireMilitary.us. And we have over 100 permanent opportunities, 100 SkillBridge opportunities for you to take a look at. If there's something specifically that you're looking for, do write in the chat, like Farzan has, DevOps. We have DevOps positions, and we will endeavor to get back to you and throw some links to you a little later. So that's for the next step. But at this point, actually, we're going to pivot ever so slightly. My whole team, apart from me here in talent acquisition at HireMilitary, is a veteran from all of the branches, actually. So we've got all veterans. I'm the only military spouse. And what we thought would be great for you guys to hear is a little bit about, or top line Cliff's notes of their transition, their experiences, because everybody had a very, very different experience for some reason, shape, or form. Some were retiring, some were separating, some were med boarding. And so we wanted to be able to really share the experience, give examples of what worked, what didn't work, and really what would have been great to know at that time. And so today we're going to start with Matt, who has got a very different story to the rest of us. So I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm going to hand straight over to him because he can tell it a lot better than I can. So over to you, Matt.
All right, thank you, Lucy. Yeah, this is just something that we wanted to be able to offer. Just more than just coming on here and sharing jobs and internships. We have a lot of different experiences and things that we can kind of share with everyone. It's all just opinions and personal experiences, and again, it's gonna be different for everyone. I got out almost at 17 years active duty, and it was cut short by 3 or 4 years. I had a lot of career goals in mind, but I ended up having to go through a med board. It took about 9 months or so, but I had about that amount of time to prepare for the transition out. And it wasn't necessarily something I was prepared for, because again, I was expecting 3 or 4 more years. So not the careers, the resumes, the interviewing, we're moving. None of those things were on my mind when it happened. It was like January of 21 until, again, about now of, 2020. And then, 9 months later, I was out. So there was a lot of things I had to do along the way. It may seem like a lot of time, but it's really not, with all of the things you have to do And, a lot of those things take extended periods of time to get done. Getting started with, the TRS or TAP, whichever branch you're in, for everyone that, thinks, hey, they don't teach you anything, try to take that thought out of your mind if you're going into it. Go into it with an open mind, because mine really did teach me a lot. It's not going to give you the 100% answers, the 100% solutions, but, they at least get to point you in the right direction of what you want to do, preparing to get out. And you can go through it at least a year out. You can get these things already prepared before you get out of the military. They can at least point you in the right direction. And one of the things that, I wish I would have done is kind of narrow down where I wanted to live. That would have been an easy starting place, because, at the TRS, the TAP, they offer some good information, but look into like your state or city's veteran programs. Like when I moved out here, I didn't even know there was this thing like TCMAC in Eastern Tennessee, a Tri-City Military Affairs Council. They meet once a month at a reserve station. They talk about all kinds of different things, and then they meet again every couple of months, do like a little lunch. I just met with them last week for the first time. Didn't even know it existed until I got connected with some folks on LinkedIn. It gave me more information about the area. And then now I'm learning more about what the state offers, what about the veteran affairs, about retirement, the VA hospital. I've learned just quite a bit over the last week about what this area offers me. Some of the things I wish I had done is, creating just checklists, because, there's all kinds of different things. My wife still has to tell me to go schedule a dental appointment. Like, that's just something you're in the military, Buff's laughing, you miss a dental appointment, the Secretary of Defense gets notified because it's a punishable offense. You get by firing squad. There's little things you have to do, like find a doctor, find something for your family, getting it scheduled ahead of like 3 or 4 months ahead of time. What medical coverage do they take? What dental insurance do they take? Like, getting all these things done ahead of time. Listen to the folks at TRS and TAP, because they're going to give you just some generic information that you can take with you. And it's up to you. I kind of expected a lot of things just kind of fall into place. You have to work. It's not just going to be handed to you. Like, sometimes while you're in the military, you're buying a house. I was used to military housing where they take care of everything. Now I'm the handyman. I'm not the handiest man around to be able to fix ceilings and all this stuff that has to be done. So, creating the checklist of all the things that you need to do ahead of time will definitely help. And keeping track of everything, it just gets a little bit trickier as you lose a lot of the resources. There's a lot of very valuable resources as you get out of the military. And that's just something I wish I would have done, because it did get cut short relatively quick. Some people had double the amount of time I have, or they know 2 to 3 years out, like, I know I'm going to be done. People drop retirement papers, and Buff, I don't know how long it was for you. I know people get like a year out, like, this is your retirement day. Like, cool, I can start planning for this now. I didn't know when I was getting out. I got a window, 6 to 9 months, and I had to like ride people to get the process going. And it made things really difficult. Again, it was kind of a unique situation, but there's a lot of people out there going through the same process. And even those that know they're getting out in a year and a half, you start the networking process. Do that far greater than a year out. So you figure out the area you want to live, who's out there, the veteran resources that are there, because you can reach out and find the information from them, of what's being offered. And that can kind of guide you in the right direction.
So Matt, we've had a question.
I'm sorry. I can go for a while, but I'm going to leave it at that. I know there was a question you want to ask.
We've got a question for you, actually. Gabriella has asked, would you recommend using the VA healthcare system? Has that been a good experience for you? Mine
has been great, personally. The reason I chose to live where I'm at is because of the VA clinic in East Tennessee, in Johnson City. I get in for an appointment and get prescriptions if I need it before my appointment reminder comes in the mail. It's very easy. If you have TRICARE and VA, you still have to pay for some TRICARE stuff. You still have to pay for prescriptions if you'd use it. You go through the VA, and it should be covered. At least it is for me personally. Get a feel for what it's like in the area. If you can't get something through the VA, it's a backlog for a certain amount of time, go the other route. If your company offers medical coverage, you can still opt into that and use your company's medical coverage. You can have both. I just use TRICARE and VA. And I like using it personally. I've had great experiences so far. I know they're really working on making that better. There's huge initiatives across the country South Carolina, I just left there. There's a great VA presence there. They're trying to really improve that significantly. In Tennessee, it's really well too. Like, I can't recommend it enough, but again, there's bad experiences. I can't speak for everything, but I know there's a lot's changing for the better.
Randy's mentioned that he recommends people follow Tyrone Hewitt to get great transition advice and checklists. I think that Tyrone is an amazing resource to follow. Also, Michael Quinn, our CEO, if you do not follow him already, definitely has great information. But there is, if you're not familiar, and Amber, you may be able to remember the name of it, there is a 9-page document out there that has every single URL that you will ever need when it comes to transitioning. And if you haven't seen that document before, what I will do after this live is I'll come in and I'll drop the URL to this. So stay tuned and look back later. I'll even try and add it to the event as it was so that you can see it and it will be up there, because it is a phenomenal resource of everything you didn't know you needed to know when it comes to transition. Matt, thank you for sharing your experience. It went quite healthcare related, but I think that really is pertinent and interesting to a lot of people out there. So I really do appreciate that. Next week, we're going to have Before share his experience. And that one is a different one again, especially because it is so current and literally right now as the economic climate is changing here in the US. So let's get going. Let's share our SkillBridge internship opportunities first up this week. Like I said, if you're interested in anything that we talk about today, drop a comment, tell us what it is, and we will endeavor to get back to you as soon as we possibly can. Buff, for the first time in 4 weeks, I think, what do you got?
Thanks for sharing, Matt. Incredible story. And like you said, it's very unique. Each person's transition is unique. So thanks for sharing. Let's get into it. For those that are new to the format, for the platform, SkillBridge. Here at HireMilitary, we provide DoD-approved SkillBridge program internship opportunities. This is for the eligible transitioning service members during their last 6 months of service, typically calculated from their EAS or ETS date, working backwards. Our internships typically range between 90 to 120 days, and mainly based on your performance and other factors, there's a high probability for a full-time offer upon completion. So that's for the new folks that are learning about SkillBridge. The company that has 2 roles that I want to share with today, that is called Gap Solutions. It was founded in 1999. It delivers diverse, scalable innovation solutions for federal and civilian defense partners. They ensure mission success and enhance operational resiliency. The first position in Virginia, Herndon, Virginia, is a recruiter position. The responsibilities include developing, maintaining, networking relationship to meet recruitment goals, and they want to contribute to recruitment process improvement and goal orientation. The qualifications is a minimum of 1 year experience in the HR support function, and a bachelor degree is preferred but not required. Again, that's a recruiter in the Herndon, Virginia area. The second position is for the same company in the same location, with a little caveat to this one is remote's available for anybody that has a little bit more background for each individual. Is the payroll and accounts payable administrator. The responsibility is to provide support in payroll management and processing biweekly and semi-monthly payrolls. They maintain account ledgers and stuff like that. Also, they verify account transactions. So if you got any background in that typically kind of work that's verifiable, they are likely to open up to a remote location, not just in Virginia. The qualification is very awesome, very simple, high school diploma, and then they would prefer to have 2 years of payroll or accounts payable experience. So if you're interested in those positions, please check us out on the HireMilitary.us under the SkillBridge internship tab. That is the 2 roles I got to share. Coming back off my my leave. So thanks for having me, and I'll pass it on to Amber.
Thanks, Before. I want to also mention, I think that right now there's like 80 something SkillBridge opportunities. So very, very exciting. If you're looking for SkillBridge, definitely connect with Before, connect with Audryn. Feel free to reach out to our team and we can answer any questions.
83.
83. I was wrong. Thank you. Let's make a pivot, though, right into our direct hire opportunities, where I think we have 115 currently. So with that, we're only going to be talking about a couple of them today, maybe 6 or 7. So if you don't hear of something that interests you, I encourage you always to reach out and check out the careers page. Connect with our team. We're always updating our careers page. So I'm going to jump right in, though, with my first position that I'd like to share today. It's a web designer. And I also have a UI UX designer. Both of these roles are out of the Chicago metro area. So looking at a hybrid position, some work on site with the team. They do really like that face-to-face interaction. Some work taking place at home. For both of these positions, they are looking for somebody that has a bachelor's degree and about 5 years experience. Fantastic thing about this company is their benefits start on day one, which is really unheard of in the market today. So that's a web designer and a UI UX designer, both out of Chicago, hybrid capacity. If you're interested in either of these, drop it in the chat and I will reach out to you following this live. I have 2 more that I'd like to chat about today. These are both based out of Miami. I have an assistant project manager and a project manager. And our client is a woman-owned small business that provides construction management and general contracting services throughout the state of Florida. The qualifications, first, the assistant program manager includes a bachelor's degree or experience in the construction management world overall. For that project manager position, they do desire a bachelor's degree in engineering or construction management, as well as 4 to 7 years of experience. They are a little bit flexible on that degree. If you don't have the formal education, they'd like to see 10 years of experience. That is really related to the responsibilities for the project manager, as well as preference for about 3 years in government contracting for that project manager. So again, that's a assistant project manager and the project manager out of Miami. If you're interested in either of these, drop it in the chat so I can reach out to you following this live. Those are my roles that I'm sharing. I'm going to pass it over to you, Matt. I think you have some exciting ones to share with the community today also.
I feel like Matt might be stuck. Is anybody else feeling the same? Yep. Okay. I'll go. I'll take Matt's roles then. He's got a couple of positions. One is a warehouse tool room manager. This role is in Edina, Minnesota, and they're looking for somebody with a shipping receiving background, counter sales or supply management. Really, you'd be responsible for tracking the equipment and the inventory on a day-to-day basis, capable of leading and mentoring employees. So definite really supports a transitioning service member or a veteran because they are looking for those military aptitudes and capabilities there. And there really are multiple opportunities for development and growth into other positions within that company. If you are not aware, we do share all of our starting salaries on our website. And so for this one, they're looking at anywhere between 50 and 75K to start. So that's warehouse tool room manager, Edina, Minnesota. Matt, are you back?
Yeah, I don't know. You'd think it was a government computer or something. We just stopped
the
working.
HireMilitary one. I left your last role for you to talk through today.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so both of the ones I was going to share, they're both very similar jobs. You know, Lucy was just talking about the warehouse manager job. You know, I have another one in Augusta, Georgia. It's an operations supervisor. So this one can also be a skill bridge. I know there's some folks out there looking for skill bridge internships. They're open to this being a skill bridge too, and it's a direct hire opportunity. So there's a logistics company in Augusta, Georgia. They're looking for an operations supervisor. Now, what they really want is somebody that has a strong leadership background, but also just like a supply chain background experience. And if you have anything like Lean Six Sigma related, you know, that process improvement from a supply background, logistics included in that, you know, this is an excellent opportunity. You know, if you're think, you know, a chain of command, you'd have about, you know, a structure of a company. You have about 50 to 100 people underneath you. And then there's the ops super managers that have 3 or 4 operations supervisors underneath them. It's just structured that way. It's significantly growing, you know, looking to build some new facilities. It's growing significantly. Like, I can't explain that enough, but it's an excellent opportunity for somebody transitioning out of the military, but also a veteran that's looking to either relocate to Augusta or it's already there. Yeah, that's for operations supervisor in Augusta and the warehouse manager. If you're interested in either one of those, you can go to HireMilitary.us, apply through the website. It's also on the SkillBridge side for the warehouse or the operations supervisor. You can apply through there as well. You're muted, ma'am.
Oh, can you hear me, you guys? I feel like we're having some tech difficulties today. Yes.
You're good.
Such amazing opportunities that we've shared today. But like we all said earlier, this is just a highlight reel of what we've got. I see there's so many comments in the chat that we'll get back to just after this live. It's really hard to acknowledge them all today. People asking for DevOps, AWS, supply chain. We have roles in all of these areas, so we will come back to you and give you the link specifically to the role that we think might be a good fit for you, or to our website, which is HireMilitary.us. Matt, you've already got a potential applicant for your Augusta role from Ebenezer there, so that's great to see. We haven't had many questions in the chat today, so I'm going to make a huge assumption that everybody is empowered and has every piece of information that they need right now. Jessica, I promised you that huge big document, but I see that Randy has put it in the chat as well, the URL for that. That is the cheatography document, 9 pages of URLs and hyperlinks to anything you never knew you needed for your transition. It is the most phenomenal of resources, and I definitely do encourage everybody to take a click on that. We will be back next week, same time, 2 p.m. Eastern time, as always, to share our newest roles. If in the meantime you have questions for us, do drop them here in the comments, and we will make sure we prioritize them next week. It was lovely to see everybody, and thank you for spending your time with us this afternoon. Goodbye.